here we are in a day that Chauncey Billups was arrested by the FBI under a large gambling ring, including setting up people and cheating and X-ray card tables, etc. But I want to get into our team, the local team itself right now, and what this does. Tomorrow they play the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And in 15 minutes, we'll get into the game last night because there was a lot of fun there, and we all might need a palate refresher. Little cleanser. But tomorrow, the Golden State Warriors come to town. Not many bigger stars in the NBA named Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, the Portland media scene has already been kind of nuts because of the massive influx of Chinese media members here to cover Young Hansen. That press room tomorrow is going to be loaded.
Oh, because now China's like, what the hell's going on over here?
Not just that. If you don't think that the motherships of sports networks aren't currently booking flights in a PDX, you are out of your mind.
Yeah, is Shams in a PJ right now?
Not Shams, but I bet you one of Wendy, McMahon, any of those guys from ESPN.
Maybe a Tim Legler on the scene?
Nah, not Legs. Bontemps probably. Like one of those guys is 100% coming out here. AP is sending guys out here. All of the national guys are currently booking flights to Portland for tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you sit in there, somebody asked this on the text line, what I was referring to earlier about cleaning house. No one feels good in this organization outside of the players, correct? I mean, players don't feel great because their coach just got arrested by the FBI.
He's appearing in federal court here in a matter of time down the street.
As we speak, for all we know right now. But if you're the coaching staff, if you're Joe Cronin, how do you even walk into a game tomorrow? The Warriors, that's usually one of the better tickets in town. That's usually one of the better games to attend.
They travel heavy.
They travel heavy, and let's be real, there's a lot of California transplants up here in the Pacific Northwest. Guilty as charged right there, Danny Marang. And look, for me, I spent a lot of time rooting for the Warriors because they had Klay Thompson forever. I went to college with him. They're a very liked and hated villain dynasty. It's also near the end. Is this the most watched Blazer game since
the playoffs,
the Western Conference Finals in '99?
I don't know if the game ends up being that watch, but the eyes that are going to be on what happens in the pregame, wouldn't surprise me if either Dwayne Hankins or Joe Cronin said something before the game.
Gets on the mic to the crowd?
No,
the crowd?
Not the crowd. I'm talking about in pregame. I think
get on with Brooke or something?
No, I'm talking about media availability.
Oh.
I would imagine
nationally. Sorry, I thought you meant for the game itself.
No. I'm talking about a statement being made by somebody up in the organization.
You would hope so.
Dundon can't because he can't take hold of. He hasn't take hold of the team until next year. Jody Allen has.
If I were Dundon, I would not touch this.
To be totally clear and fair here, I think if you're Tom Dundon, you go, Jody, this is your team still.
Yep.
This is your, I'm going to inform on how I want this dealt with, but
there might be a lot of PJs coming into Portland today, but I bet you there might be one leaving Portland right now.
Or he's here and not here at the same time. You know what I mean? He's here, but you ain't going to see him.
Dude, if you're here, go check out Mole on Alberta. Great burritos.
Well, go get some good food. We got some good food
Great
here.
food in this town.
But yeah, the eyes that are on everything except the basketball, which is so unfortunate because we have spent, 2.5 hours or an hour and a half, just diving into this. And we have not talked about an incredible basketball game.
But that's why, to the listener's point that asked, what does this do to the common fan? And that's where it gets real scary for me.
I think the trust is shattered. You know what? In fact, I'll put a poll up.
Do it.
Basically, some version of is if you're a Blazers fan right now, what's your trust factor? Where are you at?
That's a great question. And this texter just brought it on question. If moving on from all parties that involve the hiring of Billups is the plan. And we're not saying that's the plan. I'm not saying that's the plan. I'm asking. I know when Ben Golliver was on, I think you might have to clean house to try to restore some faith into it.
I feel better about it with the new ownership coming in.
I do too, but doesn't those people that wanted to bring in Chauncey, does that not include Damian Lillard? Wasn't he the one that floated out Billups in the first place to this texter's text? I am not there. I'm not willing to go on a witch hunt for every person involved. That is player input. That is not necessarily front management input. But that's all. But that also raises the question: where is the line drawn?
Well, right.
Look, I'm not going
to unload Damian Lillard.
I'm not
going to fought for Chauncey Billups.
Exactly. I am no way, shape, or form trying to say that in any way, in any spot. But that does get to the level, if you are Tom Dundon and you do look at this situation and you do say to yourself, this is terrible. This is such a bad look and I'm on damage control. How far can that damage control go before you start making real scary choices or you start getting to rules for me and not for thee? It's a real tricky spot. And that's why I am under the opinion that when Tom Dundon comes in, you just kind of say adios to a lot of dudes.
See,
again, whether they deserve it or not, because if Joe Cronin doesn't know about this, he doesn't deserve to get fired. But because it's everything, it might be the base reason to do it.
First off, somebody, I'm sure, in there had to be previously aware of his propensities. And then that also leads to, these are not scary choices at this moment. They are mandatory choices that you have to make.
I think so too. You know, it's like we see this all the time in corporations, and somebody gets busted for, you know, workers' rights or abuse, assault, things like that. And usually the boss gets turfed too. Because the boss will sit there and say, well, I didn't know anything. And it's like the Adam Silver thing.
No, exactly.
Like, it's your watch.
Exactly. And guess what? You're the guy that makes all the big money, and it is under your watch. So, yes, sorry, but it is under your purview, and it is your responsibility.
And Danny brought up that great point. It's like you are making that choice, that risk management. You are making, and Ben Golliver said it too, you are making the owners money hand over fist. At what cost? At what cost are you willing to sell your soul? Robert Johnson sold his soul to play the guitar. Are you going to sell your soul for billions of dollars? That's the real question, whether you know it or not. You might not have known that the sale was going on. You might not have known that there was a buyer there for your soul. But guess what? It just went to the highest bidder. And can you get that back? Is this like a pawn shop? Or is this all sales are final, no refunds?
Best I can do is $1 billion.
Out on Pawn Stars in Vegas? Take the league to Vegas? Oh yeah, how does that look now? How does an expansion team in Las Vegas look now? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. How does that look? Okay, LeBron James wants to be an owner of a Las Vegas basketball team.
That was always the fear about putting a team there in the first place.
You cannot sell that to the public right now.
And I was making a joke with you guys during the break about how we go straight in my update from this story into previewing Thursday night football, and I end it with the Chargers are 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
somebody just said they're listening to the Odyssey app, and in their digital commercials, there's betting.
It's everywhere.
It's what we're here for.
Look, I mean, I'm a Raiders fan. They moved to Las Vegas, and as bad as gambling is, always the fear of teams getting in Las Vegas wasn't just the gambling component. It was all the stuff that comes with Las Vegas.
Nightlife.
Henry Ruggs III is in jail because he was out drinking and driving late at night and plowed into a car at 1 billion miles an hour and killed somebody.
Career over.
Life over. For one person.
Multiple lives over.
And his living life basically over and ruined. He's, been contrite and is trying to go out and make amends and talk to people about how stupid what he did was and how it ruined his life. Now, obviously, it ruined somebody else's by taking theirs. I'm not saying he's above that. He's trying to make right. But that was always the fear of Las Vegas.
The level of risk management. As you say, we laugh about this with the San Francisco 49ers.
Why
do their guys always get hurt?
Because their risk management is higher. The risk tolerance is higher.
And the NBA's risk tolerance is so high that it might have blown up in their face.
I think sports in general. Yeah. I mean, look, where are the A's moving to?
Las Vegas.
Okay. So
Who just won the WNBA title?
Aces. Golden. When the NBA gets there, and MLB
Who owns
finishes,
a part of the Raiders right now? Tom's Braids.
It's everybody wants to be there. I want to make sure we keep up with news and statements and releases. This one here is from the National Basketball Players Association as a statement. It's nothing big, but it's exactly what you expect. But I want to make sure we share it. The NBPA issued the following statement regarding the indictments of Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones. The integrity of the game is paramount to NBA players, but so is the presumption of innocence, and both are hindered when player popularity is misused to gain attention. We will ensure our members are protected and afforded their due process rights through this process. So the players' union is doing what the players' union is supposed to do, protect the players. But any bit of news, because it's just going to be all over the place, I want to make sure we share it.